Hi, I hope I'm audible.
Hello, yes, Divya.
Hi. Okay, let's continue. So yesterday we were discussing about sub-languages concept, right? Basically, we have 5 types of sub-languages: DDL, DML, DCL, TCL, and DQL, right? We are discussing with DDL, that is data definition language. In DDL, we have 5 commands. So that is create command, drop command, alter command, rename, and truncate. So create, we already know to create the table or to create any database objects, we'll use create command. Drop command, after creating or while using any table, if we don't want that table, if we want to delete that table completely, we will use drop command. By using drop direct completely, we can remove any table permanently from the database, right? Next, we have alter command. As we discussed yesterday, we have 5 use cases in alter command. The first use case is that if I already created one table, for the existing table, I realized I wanted to create a new column, right? So whenever we wanted to add or whenever we wanted to create a new column for the existing table, we will use alter command by using add keyword inside alter. Next, if we wanted to remove any column from the existing table, already one table we created, we found any column as useless and we wanted to remove it, then again we will use alter command only. And we need to use drop keyword here inside alter to remove the column. We need to say clearly drop column name, because drop is a direct command also we are having where we are using to drop the table. Here we are saying drop table name. We need to definitely mention to SQL that whether we are going to drop table or column like this. So drop table name in the sense complete table will be removed. If you wanted to remove column, we will mention drop column name inside alter command, right? And the third use case is whenever we wanted to change data types of the existing column. We already created a table. While creating the table only, we will define the column names. While defining the column names, we will define the data types, right? So while working, if we wanted to change any data types, or if it is char or varchar, that is for character data, we will define size also, right? So if you want to increase or decrease the size of the columns, size of the data types, then we need to use this again alter command only. So for that, we will use modify keyword inside alter command for SQL, for MySQL. Okay, for MySQL, we will use modify keyword inside alter. For any other database like SQL Server or Oracle SQL, we will use alter command instead of modify. Okay, so this is the third use case. And the fourth use case is that if we want to rename any column name, while creating the table, we will give some column names, right? If we want to rename our column name, again, we will use alter command only. Here, we will use rename command, rename keyword inside alter command. And we'll say we are going to rename column and old column name to new column name. Like that, we will definitely mention column keyword also after rename so that SQL will understand we are going to rename the column from this table name. Okay, we need to use rename keyword inside alter command. This is the fourth use case. Fifth use case is that if we wanted to add a primary key for the existing table, primary key is something that's a kind of constraint, integrity constraint, by using which, suppose in any column, if you don't want to allow null values and duplicate values, that is in any column, if you wanted to give the data in all the rows and I don't want to enter any duplicate values, or if we have that requirement, then on that columns, usually we will use primary key constraint. Okay. Anyways, we have integrity constraints concepts next. The next concept is integrity constraint only. In that, we will discuss detailedly about the primary key by solving some examples. So at that time only, for now, we don't know much about primary key. So I'm not explaining this use case. In that class, we will discuss about this point. Okay. So this is about the alter command use cases. I hope I'm clear up to here, right? From the starting class till this point, everything is clear, right?
Yes, Divya.
Perfect. Next, we have rename command. We have 2 more commands in DDL, rename, and truncate. Let's first see about the rename command. So by saying the word, by saying the name itself, we are understanding, we can able to understand. Rename is nothing but use it to change the name of the table. Okay. Obviously, well, by using create command, we will create the table, we will give the table name. For the existing table, after creating the table, if we want to rename or if we want to change the name of the table, we will use this rename command. Okay. And the syntax will be like rename table, old table name to new table name. Okay. Like this, we need to write the syntax. If you remember alter command also, we have one use case. Here we are renaming column name. Here inside alter, we will use rename keyword, and after rename, we will say we are going to rename the column. But here we are renaming the table, and this we can use directly. Okay. And let's see one example. Maybe let me actually activate the database. Okay. We are using SQL demo, I guess. So let me activate that database first. That is use SQL demo, right? In this, I'm having only one table, that is employees table. Okay. So maybe just to show you, or else let me change this table name only. Okay, no problem. I'll just rename this table employees to EMP, something like this. Okay. So let's check. I'm just executing this. It got executed. Let's refresh. You can see now employees is renamed to EMP, right? Now if I say, if I use select command, if I say select star from EMP, it will display me the data. Correct? Like this. Hi Rudra, hi Shri. I can see two more students. I think this is your first class, right?
Yes. Can you please share me the syllabus copy and what are the
Sure,
contents? What are the contents you
sure.
have to cover? Yeah.
Definitely. So actually, this is our third demo class. We started the demo classes on Monday. So this is the third day. But anyways, I just explained some basics only. If needed, I'll repeat them once again. Okay. I explained about the user interface of MySQL, and we discussed how to create the tables, display the data, and we discussed some sublanguages concept. I mean, I just started explaining sublanguages concept, and in that I'm explaining commands. Okay, Rudra and Shri, are you completely new to SQL? Do you want me to repeat the concepts quickly once again?
Can you share me the yeah, I'm also, but can you share me the syllabus copies and contents so I can go through and I
Sure,
can.
I'll show you the course content in the class itself now itself. And anyways, you will get a mail from our admin team maybe tomorrow morning. In that follow-up mail, you can find the course content link. Anyways, now only I'll show you first, and then we can continue. Okay. So this is the course content which we are going to cover in our course. The course duration is of 35 days, as you know. First, introduction to database and SQL, limitations of Excel. I didn't cover this concept. Okay. Creation of database and tables, which we are already done. MySQL installation, I'll show you in the tomorrow's class. Data types we covered. Okay. And I just started sublanguages concept. Okay. So actually we have 5 types of sublanguages like DDL, DML, DCL, TCL, and DQL. In each sublanguage, we have so many commands. We will discuss each very clearly. Okay, next, integrity constraints. We have some integrity constraints like primary key, foreign key, not null constraint, check constraint, default constraint, and unique constraint. All the constraints are very useful. We will discuss everything with examples. Okay. Next, This is actually, I can say, these are some of the basics, very basics of SQL. Okay. So up to this particular concept, I will explain normally by taking some normal examples like employees table, customer table, students table, like that. Once we are done with this particular concepts, next, here I will, just a second. Okay, once we are done with this particular concepts, then I'll give you the real-time database. Okay, so the speciality of my course is that I will explain you each and every concept by taking this real-time, by using this real-time database. Okay, this is a kind of movies database, or else you can even consider that this is a kind of OTT platform, that is Netflix kind of database. Okay, so once we are done with this concepts, I'll give you the database, I'll explain you the database, and I'll show you how to restore this database into your system. And then we will start our main concepts. Okay, next concept will be operators and clauses. We have some operators in SQL like AND operator, or operator, not operator, range operator, that is between operator, membership operator, that is in operator. Okay, we will discuss all the operators along with the clauses, because usually we will use all the operators inside where clause only. So we have some other clauses like where clause, order by clause, okay, and distinct clause, limit clause. And along with the remaining other operators, we have like operator also. Like operator is nothing but for pattern matching of the data. If we wanted to display any data based on any particular patterns, then we will use like operator. We have some wildcards inside like operator. We will discuss everything practically by using this database only. Okay. From here, I'll use all the concepts. I'll explain all the concepts by using this database only, that too by solving examples. Okay. Next, functions. We have so many inbuilt functions in SQL, and mainly the types are numerical functions, character functions, date functions, and aggregate functions. In them, in each type, again, we have different functions. All the functions we will discuss detailing. Okay. Next, joins. Very important concept. I can say SQL is a complete, it's a kind of backbone for the complete IT industry. Whatever job role you are going to work, whatever job role you are trying for, whether it is any domain, like, it can be data analytics, it can be full stack, it can be testing, whatever it is, definitely you need to use SQL for sure. That is a minimum subject, a basic subject every IT employee should have. And how much sound knowledge you will have in SQL, that much strong foundation you can, you can make yourself in the IT industry. So that much importance we have for SQL in our current, all the job roles. And in SQL, I can say joins is a backbone for the complete SQL. Mostly we will work on joins in real time. Okay, we have so many types of joins. Joins is nothing but till this particular point, we will discuss all the concepts by using single tables. But if you wanted to fetch the data where we are having in different tables, then definitely we need to join that tables, right? Suppose, for example, if I'm talking about any movies data here, sorry. So if I'm talking about any movies data, I'm having some film data in film table, actors name or actors data in actors table. And if I wanted to display so and so film, who is the actor working, something like that. So according to that question, definitely I need to join film table and actor table, right? So how we will join, basically how many types of joins are there, everything we will discuss very detailedly. We have different types of joins like inner join, left join, right join, right? Okay, self join, cross join, natural join, full join, like that. We have so many joins. Every join, where we will use which join for which purpose we will use, everything we will discuss. Okay. And as this is the important concept, only for joins concept, I'll not only the examples we will discuss in the class, I'll give some example questions or assignment questions for you. I'll give some time like 1 week or 10 days. Whenever you get some free time, you can just solve that questions. We will have some 6 or 7 questions over there, so that you can understand whether you can able to solve some new questions on your own or not. Okay. After 10 days, I will again explain that questions in the class so that you can validate yourself, you can check yourself, whatever you solved, whether it is correct or not. Okay. And this process I'll follow only for joins concept because it is important. Next, we have one more important concept, that is regular expression. Again, this is also very important. We will definitely use this in real time, whether we can, whether we are into data analytics or whether you are into full stack. Regular expressions is one such concept, same like operator only. Regular expression also we will use for pattern matching of the data only. If you are trying to fetch the data or display the data based on specific patterns, you will use regular expression. In it, again, we have some anchors in regular expression, just like operator. But here we have only two options. Only by using two ways we can fetch the data. But whereas in regular expression, we have so many ways. We will discuss each very detailedly. Okay. And then we have few more clauses called as group by clause and having clause. To understand these clauses, or else not understanding actually, but to solve some good examples, we need to cover joins concept also. That is the reason I mentioned these clauses here. Okay, group by clause and having clause, and how to use aggregate function inside group by clause. We will discuss by solving some examples. Okay, I can say up to here, the very main concepts of SQL. If you are thorough up to here, you can survive in for the SQL developer or any job role. You can maintain or you can write all the SQL queries very easily. Of course, along with that, we have some more concepts also, but mainly you need to focus up to here, up to this concept. Next, we have subqueries. We have different types of subqueries. Subquery is nothing but if we write one query inside another query, we will call it as a subquery. Okay, we have different types of subquery like single row subquery, multi-row subquery, correlated subquery, and non-correlated subquery. We'll discuss them along with examples. Next, normalization. Basically, being SQL developers, we will work on already created ready-made database. However, I'll give you movies database or real-time database here. Like that, only once we started working, directly we will connect to our client's database and we will start working. That database will be in the normalized form only. But once, before getting the ready-made database, how the database is being created actually. Because from the clients, we will get the client data, whatever we will get, that will be completely raw data, right? There will be so many duplicate values over there. There will be, just in an Excel file, randomly they will give very raw data. It will be a kind of mess only, I can say. So the process of converting raw data into perfect database, that is nothing but if the data, whatever data you are seeing now in the form of perfect database, that is nothing but normalization. Okay, there is a different definition again. I'll explain in that particular class. But whatever data we are getting raw from the client, that will be in the denormalized form. And the process of converting denormalized data into normalization, that is the process of converting client data into perfect database. How we are converting? To convert, we will use normal forms. There are three normal forms, 1NF, 2NF, and 3NF. I will explain you. I can bet you can check any another courses anywhere. Okay. Either they won't include this concept. If they include, they will only explain you the theory part. They will give you the rules in every normal form. But here I'll take one real-time raw data and I'll show you how we are going to convert raw data into, that is denormalized data into normalized form. Okay. Practically, we will solve that. Next, ER diagrams. Next, views concept, index concept. From here, small concepts only, but very important again. By using indexes, we can actually get the data very quickly. Okay, like that. Every concept has its own use case. We will discuss all the use cases also very clearly. Next, temporary tables. By using temporary tables, actually we can remove duplicate data at a time very easily. Okay, we will solve that also in class. Next, CTE. This is one more advanced concept. If you have any friends in, working as SQL developer, you can ask them about CTEs. I can say mostly 80% of them don't know about this concept, but I don't say this is very important concept. This is one of the advanced concept. Okay, so you can solve any question, any requirement, either by using up to this method, whatever I'm selecting. Okay, if you thorough with this concepts, you can solve by using this concepts, or else by using subqueries, or else by using CTEs. It's your wish, whatever you're comfortable with, you can solve. Okay, like that. So without knowing CTEs also, if you know the whatever methods I'm discussing here, if you know that concepts or if you know subqueries, we can solve, we can manage. This is a kind of alternative method, but again, advanced concept. If you thorough, I mean, it's not like you should be 100% perfect in that concept. At least you have some idea, at least 40 to 50% you grasp that concept. And if you mention CT in your resume, that will add a weightage to your resume. Okay. And next, stored procedure, one more important concept. By using stored procedures, actually, we can do our work very faster. We can finish our tasks, daily tasks very quickly. So that is the reason we will use stored procedures in real time very frequently. Okay. And next, window functions. One more advanced and important function. You can expect at least one question in any interview, any company it can be. If you are attending a SQL interview, you can expect at least one question from Windows function nowadays. That is the reason maybe 2-3 months back only I included this concept in the course content upon the students' request only. We have 5 types of Windows function. That is rank function, dense rank function, row number, lead, and lag. Okay. Every function we will discuss detailedly by examples. Okay. This is our course content. At the end, I will discuss some important interview questions as well. Okay. So this is what we are going to learn in our course. I hope it is clear. And as I said, the specialty of my course is that we are going to use a real-time database. Here we have some thousands of rows, many tables, so that definitely in real time we will work on large volumes of data only. If you practice while learning only, if you practice by using any real-time database, then I can say you will get some hands-on experience in dealing with the real-time databases, right? And once we are done with each and every concept, I will upload this SQL files only as a notes for you, where you can find all the theory part, examples, syntaxes all together, so that while revision, it will be easy for you. Okay. So that is the concept. And as we have 2 more students, just give me 10 more minutes. I'll just quickly revise whatever I taught yesterday. Okay, I hope it would be fine for you. Whoever already attended. So Sri, I didn't get you. Is this completely new to you, SQL?
Yes, Divya, this is Shri, and I'm new to SQL. I'm a BSA, Business System Analyst, and recently I moved to the project where these people are using SQL. The BSA should have a thorough knowledge in SQL. They told it. I thought, let me join.
Okay.
And
fine.
just I was referring this W3 school also.
Okay.
The small comments I came to understand.
Okay, great. Okay, no problem. So quickly, first I'll just explain you about the user interface of SQL. Just give me 10 minutes and then I'll continue with the today's class. Okay. I hope
Sure,
that would be
thank
fine.
you.
That's okay. I hope that would be fine for the remaining students as well. So first of all, this is MySQL. Okay. So we have SQL is nothing but a language by using which we will communicate with the database. Okay. Basically, database is something inside which we will store all the data. Okay. So all the data together we will store inside the database. And to communicate with the database, we will use SQL as a language. Okay. So MySQL is nothing but we have some different tools in the market, like MySQL, SQL Server. Okay. Like that, we have Oracle SQL. We have different tools in the market. Like some companies own, like Microsoft. From Microsoft, we have SQL Server. From Oracle, we have Oracle SQL and MySQL, like that. Okay. Whatever.
Divya, sorry to interrupt. We people are
Yes,
using Snowflake. Is the same thing. There also we can run SQL.
Yeah, they're also almost same queries you can work. That is what I'm going to say. But whatever database it is, we can use the same queries. Okay, the queries will be same. There won't be any difference in it. But here I'm using MySQL as a database. Okay, this is a MySQL user interface. Okay, once I'll show. I didn't shown the installation process, which I'll show you tomorrow. Okay, this is the last demo. Tomorrow I'll show the installation process. And once we open this MySQL, okay, first of all, this is a menu bar. This is a toolbar. Okay, you can see something called as schemas here, and below schemas, whatever you can. Here we have schemas, and below schemas, whatever you can see, this is nothing but the list of the databases I'm having. Okay, so I already created so many databases. That is the reason you can see this many. But initially, whenever you install, you can see only sys database. Okay, after you create any other database, you can see that database names here. Okay, this is the information section. If you select any table, the information regarding the table you can find here. Okay, and this is the editor page or the file where we will write SQL queries. To open a new SQL file, either we need to click on File, New Query tab, or else directly the first icon in the toolbar, this one. Okay, so if I click on this icon also, I can open a new SQL file where we will write all the SQL queries. Okay, like that. So inside a file, again, we have some options here. After writing anything, if you want, you can just maximize and minimize however you want. After writing any queries, if you want to save this file, this is the save button. By clicking on it, we can save it into our systems. And to open any already saved file, you need to click on the first icon, folder icon. If I'm clicking on the folder icon, I can able to open this folder, which we already saved. Okay, and the third icon is nothing but execute button. Okay, to execute, after writing every query, we will execute here. So to execute, we will use this icon. Okay, that is about the minimum understanding, and about the below here we have output section. Okay, the outputs we can find here. So this is about the user interface, and that is what I said. SQL is a language which is used to communicate with the database. MySQL is case insensitive. That is, we can use uppercase or lowercase, no problem here. We have something called as comments. That is, we have single line comment and multi-line comment. Okay, comment is nothing but in every programming language we use something called as comments. That is, if we write something inside a comment, that will be non-executable. If you wrote any mistakes or if you don't want to execute anything, you can write simply inside a comment. Okay. So single line comment in the sense, if you see here, in my notes, I'll give my theory part inside a comments like this. Okay. Either this symbol you can use or hash symbol you can use. You can see I use this symbol and I wrote some notes here. But in a single line only we can use. In multiple lines, if you wanted to give some notes or comments, the symbol will be this one. Hash and star. This is the start of the comment. This is the end of the comment. In between, you can write how many lines you want. So this is multi-line comment. This is single line comment. Okay. And we have something called as syntaxes here. For every concept, we need to use syntaxes. Anyways, going forward with some practice, you can remember all the syntaxes. Okay. So first, database is nothing but the place where we will store all the data. So we need to create the database first. We will first use the database. Inside database, we will create the tables, and inside tables, we will store the data. Okay, so first we need to create a database. Okay, so to create the database also we have a syntax. The syntax will be create database name. Okay, so I gave database name as SQL demo. Just to show you, maybe I'll change the name to SQL demo 1. Okay, so I'm just selecting this, I'm executing. Now the database is created. Okay, so just to see the data SQL demo 1, I need to refresh here. We have a refresh icon. If I'm refreshing, you can find SQL demo 1 now. In every database, we have 4 sections: tables, views, store procedures, and functions. Okay, so whenever we are working, first we need to activate the database, because then only SQL will understand which database we are going to use. Okay, because I'm having so many databases here. So for activating the syntax is use database name. Okay, so that is what I wrote. Let me change it to SQL demo 1. I'm executing this use SQL demo 1. It got executed. Now you can see the SQL demo 1 is highlighted here. That means this is in activation. Whatever going forward, whatever I'll execute, that will be executed inside this database only. Okay, like that. So next. So we created a database, we activated the database, right? Now we need to create a table. Okay. Inside table, we will store the data, right? So for creating table also we have a syntax, that is create table name. We need to use brackets. We will call it as parentheses also. Inside brackets, we will write the column names. How many columns we wanted to write, that many column names we can write. And just a second. See, like this. Employees is a table name. Here I'm using 4 columns. Employee ID. First of all, every table is a collection of rows and columns. Okay. So vertical thing is called as column here. I'm having 4 columns: employee ID, employee name, salary, date of joining. 4 columns I'm having. And horizontal part. This is first row and this is the second row, like that. So as this is Excel file, I wrote like that. But in SQL, we need to write it in a syntax. That too, we need to use create command syntax. Okay, the syntax will be like this: create table name. Inside brackets, we need to write how many columns we want, that many columns. And for each and every columns, we need to give the data types. What is data type in essence? Suppose in Excel file, we have so many drawbacks. That is the reason databases came into existence first of all. So out of all the limitations we have, one problem or one drawback is that, suppose you can see here, this is salary column. Usually salary in the sense we should enter numbers only. But instead of numbers, if I'm entering any word, it is accepting, right? It is not saying me that this salary column, you need to enter numbers only, but you entered some textual data. It is not giving me any error message like that. Instead of date, if I am randomly entering any data, it is just accepting, right? So this is one of the biggest drawback of Excel file. If knowingly or unknowingly, if we enter any wrong data, it will actually accept. It is not alerting us, it is not throwing us any error, which is one of the biggest drawback of Excel file. So that drawback we actually overcome in SQL by using data types concept. Okay, so data type is nothing but, by using data type only, data type will only decide what kind of values we can enter in any column. Okay, like that. So we have different types of data types here. So one is numeric data type, character or string data type, date and time data type. Okay, so numeric data type in the sense, again, it is further divided into int and float. Okay, so int in the sense, just see this picture. So mainly we will use this 3 types of data types: numeric, character, and date and time data type. Again, in numeric, we have int and float. Int in the sense we can use numbers, we can store numbers. Float in the sense it will accept decimal values also. Of course, in float, normal numbers also it will accept, decimal values also it will accept. Both we can enter. But in int, only normal numbers, okay, like that. Character or string data type. So in character or string data type, again, we are having 2 data types here. One is char and one is varchar. Okay, that is nothing but, first of all, whenever we are defining character data type, we need to define size also. Okay, like this we will define. For example, here while defining the table name here, I'm giving the table name as employees and I'm using column name as employee ID, employee name, salary, date of joining. 4 columns I'm giving. For employee name, obviously numbers I will enter, so I gave data type as integer. For employee name, that is a character data, so I'm giving char as a data type. I'll just explain you the difference between char and varchar. But while defining character data type, we need to define size also. I said we will give the size like this within the brackets. Here I mentioned the size as 10. That means this size, what we are doing here in the sense, we are allocating that much of memory for this particular employee name column. Here I gave size as 10. That means I'm allocating 10 bytes of memory for this employee name column. Each byte of memory will occupy 1 character. Okay, 1 character in the sense, 1 byte of memory. So here 10 bytes of memory. I define size as 10. That means I can enter up to 10 characters only in the employee name column. If I enter any 11 letter word, 12 letter word, it will throw me error. I can enter 2 letter word, 3 letter word, any letters up to 10. Only I can enter. Okay, like that. Okay, so we have char and varchar, and we need to mention the size also like this. And next we have date and time data type. So if we want to use only date, we will use date data type, and the format is this one. Every time definitely we need to use first year, then month, then date. And along with the date, if you want to store time also, then we will use date time like this. So first like this, year, month, date, and then hour, minute, and second. Okay, this is the format which we need to follow. If you use any other format, again it will throw us error. Okay, like that. Sometimes we may use Boolean data type also. Okay, that means we can enter only two values in it, true or false. Okay, this is about the data types. I hope it is clear.
Yes, Divya.
Perfect. Now, as we understood about data types, let's create the table. So the same syntax, table name I gave as employees. For employee ID, as it is numbers, I gave int. For employee name, char I gave, and I used size as 10. For salary, sometimes I can expect decimal values also. So I gave float because float will accept normal numbers as well. Okay. For date of joining, this is date of joining actually. I used date data type. Okay. So let me create this table. The table got created, and let's refresh here. You can see now I can expand this table and I got this employees here. If I'm selecting, you can see in the information section, it will show me the column name and the data type. Okay, like that. So this is about the create command. Next, to insert the data. By using create command, only the table structure is created. We only gave the table structure here. If you can see, only I gave the table name and column names. To enter the data, whatever data I'm entering here, to enter that data, I need to use insert command. Okay, insert command is used to enter the data, and the syntax will be insert into table name values, and I need to give the values within the brackets. So I can give like this. Definitely, I need to follow the same sequence in whatever sequence I gave the column names. So first employee ID is 1, employee name, salary, date of joining. So in this again, within the brackets, if there is a comma, SQL will understand this is first column data, second column data, third column, like that. Once we are done, we need to close the bracket and we need to give a comma, and we need to start entering the second row of data. So after closing the comma, after closing the bracket, if there is a comma, SQL will understand this is the first row of data, this is the second row of data, like that. And if you observe here, I wrote character data and dates inside quotes. Right? We can use single quotes or double quotes, no problem. Normal numbers, we will give normally only. Only numbers we will give normally. Character data or dates, we need to definitely write within the quotes. Okay. So like that, I entered some data and now I'm inserting that. I'm executing that. Okay. It got executed. So this is how we will use create command and insert command. Okay. And now first, let me tell you the difference between char and varchar. Okay, what is char, what is varchar? I'll explain you first. So for example, here if you see, I use employee name column. For employee name column, I gave char as a data type and I give size as 10, right? So for example, I'm just taking one box and I'm dividing that into 10 boxes because I define the size as 10 here, right? Okay, now I have 10 boxes and this size 10 is nothing but I'm allocating 10 bytes of memory for the employee name column, right? 10 bytes of memory I'm allocating, and each byte I enter only one character. Suppose if I'm entering John as the employee name, J in first box, O in second box, H in third box, N in fourth box. That means I used 4 bytes of memory here for John as an employee name. Remaining 6 bytes of memory is left over for me, right? Whatever 6 bytes of memory is left over, all the 6 bytes of memory will be given with the blank spaces like this if I'm using char. Okay, if I'm using char, how many bytes I used? If I enter only 3-letter word, 3 bytes will be used. Remaining 7 bytes will also be used for the same employee name column by filling with the blank spaces like this. Okay, so I can say if I use char, my memory is being wasted here, right? Unnecessarily, if I don't need also, it is using every byte of memory here by filling with the blank spaces. So I can say my memory is being wasted if I use char, correct? So instead of char, we have one more option, that is varchar. For the same employee name, I can use varchar and I can define the size whatever I want. Suppose if I define the size as 10, again, once again, I'm not drawing the box in this only. Let's try to understand. Suppose here also I took it as 10. Again, 10 boxes. Maybe here also I entered the name as John. So first box like this, 4 bytes of memory is used. Whatever remaining 6 bytes of memory is there, if it is varchar, the 6 bytes of memory won't be used. this 6 bytes of memory will be given back to the database. Okay, so if I use varchar, how much size I define also, whatever value I'm entering. If I entered name as Ram, only 3 letters I will use, 3 bytes of memory will be used, remaining 7 bytes of the memory will be given back to the database. So I can say my memory won't be wasted if I use varchar, right? That is the main difference here. In char, memory will be wasted. In varchar, memory won't be wasted. So definitely in real time, we prefer to use varchar. In which scenarios we will use char in a sense? If we know how much data we are entering exactly. Suppose gender column, we know will enter either male or female. So we know how much characters we want, that much memory only we will declare, right? So like that. In that scenarios, we can use char, or else we will prefer to use varchar because our memory won't be wasted here. One more point, in char we can store up to 225 characters only. Up to 255 characters we can store inside char, whereas in varchar I can store up to 64,000 characters. Okay, that is the second point here. And this is one of the most important interview question, difference between char and varchar. I hope it is clear.
Yeah,
And
Divya.
perfect. Suppose here I define the size as 10. That means I said I can enter up to 10 letter word only in employee name. If I'm entering more than 10 letters, you can see here I'm trying to insert one more row in the employees. I randomly gave some letters here in the employee name, which is more than 10 characters. If I'm executing this particular line, it will throw me error stating, first of all, just a second. Okay, let me remove this value. One value is extra here. Okay, let me execute once again. So it is throwing me error stating data too long for column employee name. You can see error message very clearly it will show us because I already mentioned size as 10, but I'm trying to enter employee name more than 10 characters here. So it is saying data too long for the column employee name, right? Like that very clearly it will show us error message. Okay. And next select command. So we already created the table, we inserted the data. To display the data, we need to use select command. Okay, it is used to display the data. And the syntax will be select star from table name. Star, technically we'll call it as asterisk. That means if we wanted to display the complete data, we will use star here. Okay, we will use asterisk here. So the syntax will be select star from employees, that is table name. If I'm executing, it will display me the output like this. Right, whatever, however we can see in the Excel file, in the same way we can able to see the output here, right? So what we understood how to create the database, how to activate the database, how to create the table, what are different what is data type and how many types of data types are there, what is the difference between char and varchar, right? And we understood about insert command, we understood about select command, right? This is the very basic information about SQL. Okay. Next concept is sublanguages. Okay. This is what I'm explaining. Actually, sublanguage is nothing but we have 5 types of sublanguages here. We have so many commands in SQL. Each command, some commands are divided into each sublanguage. So we have 5 sublanguages: DDL, DML, DCL, TCL, and DQL. DDL in the sense data definition language, DML data manipulation language, DCL data control language, TCL transaction control language, DQL in the sense data query language. We can also call it as DRL, that is data retrieval language, both are same. So in DDL, we have 5 commands actually: create, drop, alter, rename, truncate. All these 5 commands comes under DDL. Okay, so create command, which we already discussed, so I'm not repeating once again. Basically, create command is used to create any database objects. Database objects is nothing but it can be tables, it can be views, stored procedures, anything. For now, we are concentrating on tables only. Once we are done with the tables, we will learn use and store procedures. At that time, we will see the create command syntax for that particular concepts. Okay. For now, create table syntax is enough. Okay. So I'm not repeating this again. Next command is drop. Drop is nothing but suppose I already created table. I already inserted data. Now I realize that I don't want that table. I want to remove that table completely. Then I need to use drop command. Drop is nothing but use it to remove the table permanently from the database. Okay. So for example, just to show you that I'm creating, because I don't want to remove employees table. So same data, just I'm renaming the table as employees one and I'm creating so that I can show you drop command. So yeah, the table is created. Let me insert the data and let me display the data. Now I got the same. Let me refresh. You can see I'm having employees and employees one. Two tables I'm having now. Now let's try to see how we are going to use drop command. And the syntax for drop command is very simple. Drop table name. So I already wrote drop table employees one. I'm executing this. You can see the table got dropped. Now we can see we have only one table, that is employees. Now if I execute select star from employees one, it will throw me error stating employees one doesn't exist because we already removed. So like that, whenever we wanted to remove the table, we can just use drop command. It will remove the complete table permanently from the database. Table in the sense, the data inside also, everything will be removed. Okay, this is about drop. Next, we have alter command, important command, because we have 5 use cases in alter, 5 different ways we can use alter command. So the first use case is that it is used to add any new column in the existing table. That is, I already created a table. While working, I realized that I wanted to add a new column in that table. Generally, what we will do while creating the table itself, we will define the columns, right? But for the already created table, if I wanted to add any new column, then at that time I need to use alter command, and the syntax will be like alter table name, add keyword. We need to use add keyword, and I need to say add column name, and I need to define the data type also. Every time whenever we are defining column name, we need to define the data type. Okay, so here I'm trying to add a bonus column, alter table employees. In the employees, for now I'm having 4 columns only. I'm trying to add column bonus. For bonus, I'm giving data type as float. Okay. Let me execute. It got executed. Let me refresh and check. I got bonus column, right? Like that. So for the already existing table, already created table, I can add a new column by using by using alter command, and inside alter I need to use add keyword. Okay. Now let's try to display the data. You can see as I didn't enter data inside a bonus, it is showing me null values, but I got the column, new column, like that. Okay, this is the first use case. Second use case is that if you want to remove any column from the existing table, I already have the table. I realize that I don't want any one particular column. Then at that time, to remove any column, I can use the same alter command. And the syntax will be alter table name, drop column name. Now I need to use a drop keyword inside alter, and I need to mention drop column. Previously we used drop table name. Now drop column, that too inside alter table name, drop column name. So I'm removing the same bonus column, whatever we created just now. Alter table employees, drop column bonus. I'm just executed. Now let's see, select start from employees, bonus is removed, right? Let me refresh. From here also bonus is removed, like that. Alter is used to add, even use it to remove also columns from the already existing tables. Okay. Am I going fast? Are you able to understand me?
Yes, Divya, understanding.
Okay. Because I already explained all this to them. That is the reason maybe I'm going a little bit fast. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Okay. So the third use case here is alter command is also used to change the data type for the existing column. That is, we already created the table. So while creating table, we will define the columns. While defining columns, we will define the data types. We know that. See, I'm having 4 columns here. I already defined data types definitely. So maybe in between, I realized that I want to change any data type. Okay. Suppose just now we understood about the difference between char and varchar. If we are using char, our memory is being wasted. Now I don't want to use char anymore. I wanted to use varchar. So I wanted to change char to varchar. So like that, to change the data types. Sometimes anything, if it is If I have int, I wanted to change it to float. If I have date, I wanted to change it to date time, like that. Whatever it is, if we wanted to change the data type, we will use alter command only. The syntax will be alter table name. We need to use a keyword called as modify. Modify column name, and we'll say new data type. Okay, like this. So alter table name, modify employee name, I'm modifying to varchar. Directly I will give new data type. Previously I have char, now I'm giving varchar. Okay, let's execute. It got executed. Let me refresh.
Divya, I have
instead
a
of-
doubt. Modify only for data type only you'll be using? Modifying data type
Yes, only for the
number only
data
or
type.
some?
Yes, only for the data type, as well as if we want, we can even change the size also here. You can say.
Okay.
Because for character data, we will define sizes, right? So if I want to use same varchar only, but instead of 10, I wanted to increase the size to 20. Then also I'll use the same syntax. But only for changing data types or size of the character data type, I will use modify. Okay. But again, this modify keyword is we will use only in MySQL. In any other database, generally modify keyword is not there. We need to use alter again. Okay, alter 2 times it will come. Like SQL Server, Oracle SQL, in any other database, modify keyword won't work. So I need to use alter table name, alter column name, new data type. Everything is same. Instead of modify, again I need to use alter. You can check, it will work. Okay. So this is about the third use case. First use case to add a new column. Second use case to remove the existing column. Third use case to change the data type. And the fourth use case is that to rename the column name. Okay. While creating the table, we'll give the column names. If I wanted to rename any column name, again I'll use the alter command only. The syntax will be alter table name. Rename column. We need to mention the keyword called as column. And then we need to say old column name to new column name. Like alter table name, rename column. I wrote DOJ first. I'm just renaming to date of joining. Okay, just writing our name clearly. Let me execute. Now let's refresh. You can see I got date of joining. Just to rename any column names, we will use alter command like this. Okay. And the fifth use case is that to add a new, to add a primary key for the existing table. Normally I created the table. Then for the existing table, I wanted to add primary key. We will use alter command. What is primary key in the sense? Going forward, we have integrity constraints concept. There we will learn about primary key. So in that class only, I will explain this point. Okay. For now, you can just ignore this, but this is the fifth use case. We will discuss in that class, next class, maybe tomorrow. So yeah, this is about the 5 use cases: adding a new column, removing the existing column, changing the data type, renaming the column name, and adding the primary key. I hope it is clear.
Yes, Divya.
Perfect, perfect. Next we have rename command. Okay. Rename as a separate command. Okay. If we want to rename the column name inside alter, we will use rename. And next we have a separate rename command, which is used to rename the table name itself. Okay. That is what I'm explaining actually. Rename is used to change the name of the table, and the syntax will be rename table, old table name to new table name. So I can say I'm having employees table. I'm just changing that employees to EMP. Okay. Let's see. Now we got EMP here, right? If I use select star from employee, I can able to see the data like that. By using rename, actually we can rename the column name. Okay. Up to here only I finished once. So I'm just activate SQL demo once again. Okay. And EMP is little bit different. So let me actually change this again to employees. It will be nice. Okay. Because I wanted to continue with employees name. So again, I renamed. I got my employees once again, right? Now let's see. We have employees table now. We are using SQL demo. We have employees table, only one table we are having. So this is about the rename command. Okay. Last, we have truncate command. This is the last command in DDL. Okay. So truncate. Truncate is nothing but it is used to remove complete data inside the table, but the table structure will remain same. But the structure of the table will remain same. Okay, I'm saying if I wanted to remove the complete data inside the table, but I want the same structure, I wanted to keep the structure of the table as it is, I will use truncate command. So the syntax of the truncate is very simple. Truncate table name. But just to show you truncate command, once again, let me execute employees one data. I'm just creating employees one, inserting the data. Okay. So let's execute. You can see I'm having now employees and employees one. Employees one, I'm having 4 rows. Just now I created. So let's try to observe truncate command on employees one. I'll write it as truncate table employees one. So whatever data we got by using insert command, usually what we will do, we will use create command to create the table structure. This will be the table structure. Inside data, we will enter by using insert command. So when we use truncate, whatever data we inserted by using insert command, all the complete data inside the table will be removed, but this table structure will be as it is. Let's see. I'm just executing this truncate table name. It got executed. Now let's display the select star from table employees one and observe the complete data inside the table is removed. Only the table structure I'm having as it is. Right? Suppose while working, I'm having one table. Suddenly my client wanted to remove the complete data inside one table. And he is giving me some new data and he wanted me to enter that new data into the same table. Okay. Suppose I'm having some 2000 rows. He wanted me to remove all the 2000 rows and he is giving me new 1000 rows and he wanted me to enter that new 1000 rows into the same table structure. Then directly what I can say, I can use truncate command. Complete 2000 rows will be removed at a time, but the table structure will be as it is. Then again, I will use insert command and I'll insert the new data into this table. Okay, like that. In this scenarios, we can use. Again, we have two options here. Either you can use drop command. If I use drop command, complete table will be removed. Then again, I need to use create command to create the structure. And then I need to use insert command to insert the data. Okay. Or else, instead of following this three process, directly I can use truncate and I can use insert, right? Instead of dropping and creating once again, if I use truncate, all the data will be removed like this. And then in the same table structure, we can insert the data. If the table structure, if we want as it is, then only we can use truncate command. Table structure in the sense table name will be as it is, column names will be as it is, data types will be as it is. Going forward, we will learn integrity constraints. That integrity constraints will also be as it is. All these things comes under table structure. Okay. Am I clear? Everyone?
Yes, Divya.
Okay.
Yes, Divya.
So this is about DDL. Okay. And thank you guys, remaining students. I know I took the entire class timing to explain once again, as we got some new students. Okay. But I hope it is a kind of revision for you. With this, we are done with DDL commands, and with this, we are done with actually our demo classes also. Usually in every batch, I'll give not only me, in DurgaSoft, we will give 3 demos. I will also give 3 demos only. We are done Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Tomorrow, the link will be changed. If you are interested, whoever are interested, you can just get registered with us. Okay. You will get a new Zoom link. Follow that link and connect in tomorrow's class. But while connecting, any one of you, please log in by using your laptop so that I can share your screen and I'll show the installation process. Okay. And this is the payment details or the registration details. I just kept it in the chat box. You can check that. And as you attended, you will get a mail also from our admin team. In that also, they will include the course content and they will include this registration details as well. Okay. Apart from this, anyone, any doubts, you can ask me now.
If we are registered same timing, Divya, 8 to 9.
Yeah, same time. Why is this timing not comfortable for you?
3 days we are having a business call, 7:30 to 8:30. In that way, I was asking.
Oh, okay.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Okay, okay. So for now, actually, this
Any
timing
possibility
only.
change time or fixed timing?
Yeah, actually, usually I'll take all the timing. Like for this batch, this is the timing. Like for the current batch, which we already almost done with the 80%, that batch timing is 7 to 8. Sometimes I will take 6 to 7, but very rarely. Mostly 7 to 8 and 8 to 9 only I'll take, because I'll work. I'll also work actually in the morning session. I mean, I will log in early only. I'll finish my work up to 3 o'clock and then I'll start this classes from 6 o'clock, mostly from 7 o'clock. So
Okay.
yeah, 3 days, right? So think about
Yeah.
it. Anyways, you will get a video recording. If possible, you can, if it is late also, you can join the class. I'll definitely, you can understand. Anyways, in every day we will continue the classes, right? The
Okay.
same concept, if you miss initially also, I can just repeat and I can continue. Anyways, in one
Okay.
class, definitely I'll take the complete class for the every concept, right? So maybe we will solve examples like that. Again, it's up to you, definitely.
Okay.
And from the day you registered, you will get the video access till 6 months. You can access the videos also in your
Okay.
program. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe if you
Okay.
miss any
Thank you.
first 20 minutes, you can watch the video like that also. You can try, but again, it's up to you completely. Think about it and
Okay.
decide. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Any other question, guys? If there is any, if there is no doubts, I will end the session for now. And please check with your mails. Whoever will get registered for them, they will get a new Zoom link. Follow that link and connect to tomorrow's class. Okay. All right then. Bye.
Thank you, Divya.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.